Greetings, all royalty from all lands. This is M is my favorite letter, and I'm here today to bring you your regular Wednesday video, or as regular as I can. This is 3 weeks in a row, so that's officially a pattern. We're officially patterning. Is that the word for it? Anyway, the point is, we're growing consistency, and that's good. Okay, so for this week, I decided I was going to do a little truth or dare session with myself, I guess, because I don't really have anyone to do this with. Yeah. So instead of inquiring from the internet and bothering people for the 3rd time in a row, I looked up truth or dares on the internet and found this basically like truth or dare questions that was like, hey, this is a really good ones to ask. So I'm gonna go through the truths and eventually the dares, and we're gonna do a little bit of truth or dare for you. So I guess this is like if the Q&A was get to know me part 1, this is get to know me part 2. So this is the introduction part 2. Let's get started. Question 1. What are you most self-conscious about? Oh, woof. Starting off strong. Okay. My personality, I think. I'm a very, like, affectionate person, and because of this, I'm very touchy. I can be very clingy. I'm working on it, but I think, like, the way that I am with my friends makes me feel very insecure because I'm always, like, awkward about it, I guess. I don't know. You know when, like, you just feel like you're too much in people's faces? I feel like that all the time. So, yeah. I guess that's it. What is the most embarrassing picture of you? I don't have any pictures of me. Yep. Yes, I do. Never mind. I'll post, you know what? Follow me on Twitter. Link in the description. I'll post it on Twitter. Then you'll know. Follow me on Twitter, guys. Question 3. What would you do if you were the opposite sex for a month? If I was the opposite sex for a month? I would probably... If I was a guy for a month. Oof. I don't know. I feel like I'd do the same things. I don't know. I'd probably incorporate myself more into things. Because I feel like, a lot of the times I stand back from things because I feel like, oh, they're gonna think I'm just a girl, so they're not gonna want to include me, or they're not gonna want me to be part of the group, so I'll just stand back and not participate. But, yeah, so I would be more adventurous, I guess. But mainly just myself, yeah. What is the most expensive thing you have stolen? I, in my entire life, think I have stolen, like, 3 things, and 2 of them were free, I think. Like, I don't remember really stealing anything, but as a child, I remember walking out of a store with, like, a candy bar. Like, did everyone do that, or that just me? Because I feel like a lot of people have that story, like, oh, I took a candy bar to the store. Yeah, I took a candy bar to the store, and then I told my mom, and she made me go take it back. So, yeah. What is the most childish thing you still do? I whine a lot. Like, if I don't get my way, I'm getting better at it as I grow older, but sometimes when I've just had a really bad run for like a really long time, I get whiny. Yeah, pretty much. I've always been really confused by how girls treat people when they're upset, until I'm so upset that I can't control my emotions anymore, and then I am one of those girls that I'm always like making fun of, and then I'm like, oh, that's awkward. I'm the thing I made fun of. Oops. Yeah. So it's bad. Have you ever let someone take the blame for something you did? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Several times. I have a lot of siblings. I have 11 younger siblings. I'm the oldest. I've also, to be fair though, taken the blame for what other people have done. So, and not so much recently anymore. I feel like all of these are like old questions. Like, the old me, yes to everything. Super annoying. All the bad stuff, that would be me. But I have improved. We love character development, right? What do most of your friends think about you that is totally true? Totally untrue? Everyone thinks I'm a Hufflepuff. I mean, literally everyone. Even most of my like IRL friends think I'm a Hufflepuff. Because I'm so nice. And I'm so, aware and self-sacrificing and caring and all of that stuff. They're just like, you're such a Hufflepuff. And I'm like, I'm really not, actually. Fun fact, I'm a Slytherin. And I am the reason why I believe it's not what you do, it's why you do it. I feel like a Hufflepuff thing is just because you want people to be happy and, like, you're accepting of everybody. And I'm not. And I'm not unbiased, even though I pretend I am. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like that idea that I'm this, like, perfect, super loving, endlessly patient person, just that everyone seems to think I am, isn't me. So, yeah. I'm a Slytherin, fun fact. Who here would you most like to make out with? I'm alone. I guess I'll make out with myself. This was such a bad idea. What lie have you told that hurt someone? I don't really lie. Like, not major lies. And I did used to lie a lot. See, I told you, character development. But, not anymore, really. I'm actually very, very honest. So honest, it's actually, like, a problem. So, I can't really recall anything that super hurt anyone. What's the worst encounter you had with a police officer? I don't really have any encounters with police officers. I'm a good kid. Like, when it comes to the law, I follow the rules, guys. I'm not fun like that. I will break a lot of other rules, but when it comes to the law, nope. Like, we follow the law in my house. Yeah. So, DARE, like, I was in the DARE program when that was still a thing. Does that count? What is the silliest thing you have an emotional attachment to? Ooh, hold on. Here it is. You see this thing? You see this? You see that? Oof. Look. You see this? You see this? Oof. I've had this thing since I was like, literally like 9 or 10 years old. I'm 18. Okay, so I've had this for like 8 to 10 years. I've had this thing. And it's just a stuffed animal, but I sleep with it every night. Yeah, I'm that kid. I sleep with stuffed animals. Problem. Anyway, tell me about your most awkward date. Ooh. I haven't had many dates. I think none of my dates were awkward, but I remember the most awkward thing that happened after a date is that I was super touchy with a guy, and he was like super into me, and we were like flirting and like holding hands and like kissing each other's hands and like all that crap. And he like afterwards, I kept trying to like, I don't know, because I had a huge crush on him, and I was just like, hey, you want to like date, lol. And pulled me aside and he's like, hey, so I had a really fun time, but I don't want to date you. And I was like, oh, awesome, great. I was in the club with him, so I got to see him the rest of the year. He got a girlfriend right after that. Anyway, moving on. Tell me about your first kiss. Oh, okay, so my first kiss, there was this guy that I liked, and we were riding the bus home, the late bus home together, and I had told him earlier in the day, I was like, hey, I like you, and, you know, whatever, I just want to know how you feel about it, you know, where you are, what's going on. I said I'm very honest and very straightforward. And it had been like 3 days or something like that. Maybe it was later that day, something around there. And he was just being, I don't know, it was, I remember feeling really awkward. Like he didn't want me there, or that it was just really like tense and weird. And finally he was just like, hey, you know, so he went to leave off the bus. And I was just like, hey, look, you know I like you. I just don't know where you stand. And he was like, okay, I get it. And I was like, okay. So he stood up and went to go give me a hug. And then, like, he hugged me and then leaned back and then just, like, kissed me really fast. And it landed on, like, the corner of my mouth. It was really, like, really fast and really awkward. And I was like... And then I was like... I was, like, 15. So I was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing and magical. And then we dated for, like, 19 days and then broke up. So, yeah. That was my first kiss. Who is the person you most regret kissing? I don't think I regret kissing anybody. Like, I haven't kissed very many people, honestly. Like, I've kissed like 4 people. Okay, hold on. 5 or 6 people? 5 or 6 people? I had to count. I don't really regret kissing any of them. Like, I made the decision. It was on purpose. So... What secret about yourself did you tell someone in confidence and then they told a lot of other people? So the first thing that came to mind was I had this friend whose name I'm gonna redact, even though I remember her name very clearly. She was like a popular kid, I guess, and I just felt like I had to be friends with her. And I had a crush on this guy. Keep in mind, this is like elementary school. Oh my gosh. And I told her, I was like, I have a crush on him, and she was friends with him. And I think she liked him too, because she literally stood up, walked over him, and was like, hey, my friend has a crush on you. And I was like, and they just sat there and laughed at me. I was like, I continued to be her friend for 2 years. What is the most inappropriate time you farted? Does everybody else have like the mid-test farts in like the complete silent stories? You know, like when it's like you're in the middle of a test and it's completely silent. I always seem to do like the most embarrassing things in the most awkward moments. Like I was at a funeral once and I just like burped in the middle of the ceremony. It was I mean, the generic like farting during a test, I think, is the most embarrassing I've ever done. Oh, okay. So, I'm a collector, and I have a shelf full, like, the entire top of my armoire is covered in, like, stuffed animals, and these little figurines, like these ones, and, like, like, these are my Stranger Things ones. I have way more. They're covered in, like, cake toppers, and just like any little figure that I can find, like McDonald's toys, like literally just absolutely anything I can find. And so I guess that's the most embarrassing thing. I'm not really embarrassed of it, but I guess that could be very, very embarrassing. So we'll count that in there. Why did you break up with your last girlfriend or boyfriend? Distance. We were just too far away. When was the last time you peed in bed? It was a time before I can remember. That's how long it's been. I don't ever remember peeing in bed. I mean, maybe I did, but I was like really, really tiny. But it's been a lot of years. It's been over 10 years. Let's just say that. Who's the sexiest person here? I'm the only person here. Moving on. What is the grossest thing that has come out of your body? Okay. Vomit, like pus from popping pimples. What else do you want from me? Who have you loved but they didn't love you back? I'm not gonna name names, but I fancied myself in love with this guy for like 10 years on and off. No joke. No, it couldn't have been. It was like 5 years on and off. It felt like 10 years. But I, not on and off, but like I would just try my hardest to get over him, and then it would come back, and I would try my hardest to get over him, and it would come back, and or I would stop repressing it, I would fail at repressing it, just stuff like that. Man, yeah, so that person that I'm not going to name. What is the most disgusting habit you have? I bite my nails. Fun fact. What is the cruelest joke you played on someone? I convinced one of my neighbors that I was secretly dating my stepbrother. What is the most embarrassing thing you've put on social media? Probably these little, like, story snippets I write that are really, like, lovey-dovey and gross as heck. Hate them so much. Yeah. Or, like, all the times I defended Aiden Gallagher. That was more recent, and that hurt. What bad thing have you done that no one else found out about? I tell everyone everything. Not everyone everything, but I always tell at least one person anything that goes down. So, I mean, nothing. It's a struggle. What's the most awkward romantic encounter you've had? I can't really think of one, actually. No, okay, so I was at this church event thing, and there was this guy I had a crush on, and I flirted with him so hardcore, like, pickup lines, talking about how hot he is, and just, like, being really blunt and obvious. The thing was that he was super shy and super awkward. Oh, so, like, the entire time I'd be like, oh, you're super hot, and he's like, I want to die. Like, poor kid, I feel so bad. And I think back on that, and I cringe so hard. Like, my insides die every time I think of it. I feel so bad for that kid. Oof. Tell me the last time someone unexpectedly walked in on you while you were naked. Like, my really tiny siblings that I live with have walked in on me occasionally when they didn't knock on the door. But after, like, 2 times of, like, one of the family members walking in each other, we all learned to knock on the door. So, like, it didn't happen a lot. What the heck is this? Like, is it so regular to walk in on somebody while they're changing that, like, it's a question? Should I be concerned? Anyway, describe your most recent romantic encounter. So I had never played, like, I'd never gone to, like, the cliche middle school parties and played, like, 7 Minutes in Heaven and Spin the Bottle and Truth or Dare, like, all in one go. So my friends and I just got together and we just did, like, we did all the things. And I got stuck in 7 Minutes in Heaven with this guy that I've been flirting with all night. And, we made the 7 minutes worth it. Nothing inappropriate. But, yeah, it was worth our time. Anyway, who here has the nicest butt? I mean, I'm still the only one here. When was the last time you picked your nose without a tissue? I mean, like, I itch my nose sometimes. And, like, if I have, like, really dry crusties, I'll just, like, scrape them out. Does that count? Okay, whatever. What do you really hope your parents never find out about? They know everything. I'm sorry. Yeah, they do know everything. I told you I can't keep secrets, okay? At least I can't keep my own secrets. Other people's secrets I can keep just fine. My own secrets, it's a problem. Your most embarrassing vomit story? I don't have any embarrassing vomit stories. Sorry. Have you ever made out with someone here? I have never made out with myself, actually. For shame. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? What? What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Are you asking me to do math? Next question. What have you done that people here would judge you most for doing? I'm the only one here. What would you do if you were the opposite gender for a day? I'd probably hecka flirt with like all the girls. Yeah. Yep. That's what I'd do. Anyway, so this video was super long, and I'm probably going to do a part 2 next week for the dares, because this is already like 25 minutes. So I will see you guys next week for part 2, for our dare section. And yeah, that's all for now. See you guys later. What is something that you've never told anyone? Moving on. I'm a good person now, though, so